You ever get stuck on guitar? You want to know how to get unstuck? Well, if so, you came to the right video. Coming up, we're going to talk about why guitar players get stuck and how to get unstuck and move on from your plateau. And that's coming right up. Hey, welcome back to All About Guitar Academy. Today we're going to look at 5 ways that I believe you can get unstuck. Now, I know all about this because I've been there many times on my guitar journey. I've been playing for more than 45 years, and there's been times where I got completely stuck, bored with what I was doing, and really didn't know how to get out of it. But I'm going to share with you some of the ideas I've personally tried that I believe will help you. So let's look at reason number 1. But before we do that, I want to throw out there, if you're brand new at guitar, you're wanting to learn fast, make sure you get my free ebook here, Fast Track Guitar, at my website, allaboutguitaracademy.com. Get it and get started on learning guitar right away. All right, let's jump into step number 1. All right, step number 1, I will tell you, one way to break out of being stuck is to learn new genres, to learn new songs. So if you haven't tried soul, jazz, blues, country, reggae, there's so many different genres out there that you can learn to play on guitar. If you haven't done any of those things yet, pick one that you really think would be fun to learn and shift gears. Stop playing what you're used to playing all the time. Get out of the box a little bit. Maybe a genre that you haven't really learned yet is how to play rock on guitar. And I've got a link right here I'll put there for you that you can check out one of my videos on how to play rock guitar. It might get you out of your box there, so check it out. The important thing to do is pick a genre that you are really interested in, that you enjoy. You don't want to pick something that's not going to be any fun and you're just doing it for the sake of doing it. As far as new songs, so many videos out there on YouTube, including right here at All About Guitar Academy, where you can learn how to play songs pretty quick. A lot of good teachers out there online. It's as simple as just picking a song that you heard on the radio, you heard on YouTube. You're like, wow, I got to learn that song, but it sounds a little tough. Hey, learn the song. Seek it out. Find out how to learn that song. Speaking of new songs and genres, the other thing you can do, which is on the same level as this step, is to create your own songs. And I do this a lot with my students. Once they get to a certain level, we start working on how to write songs. And writing your own songs can break you right out of that being stuck box if you're experimenting with some different chord patterns and things like that. In fact, here's one of my videos. You can check out how to write a song. It might be helpful to you. All right, so new songs, new genres of music, both great ways to break out of your box, get off your plateau. Let's look at the second way I believe you can get out of your box. All right, way number 2, I would say, is learn some new skills on the guitar. Finger picking, a great skill to learn, and there's a lot of information out there online that you can seek out for how to finger pick, different styles of finger picking. Also, there's other things you can do on the guitar maybe that you haven't learned how to do yet. Slide guitar. This is my little slide here. You just put that on your finger, whichever finger works best for you, and start experimenting with a bottleneck slide. You can get a glass slide, a chrome slide. Look it up. There's so many different things you can do with slide guitar, and it's fun, and it makes the guitar sound way different than what it sounded like before if you've never done it before. So those are just 2 examples of skills that you could start to learn. You know, hammer-ons and pull-offs are a lot of fun too if you're not doing that yet, and learn how to do palm muting. They're fun. Strumming techniques. There's a lot of strumming techniques out there that maybe you haven't learned yet. From the basic strumming that you've been doing with all the songs that you hear in 4/4 time, pick up some new time signature strumming techniques, and you'll be amazed at the fun you can have playing your guitar. All right, let's look at solution number 3. Stop playing scales. Stop doing the boring things that are just over and over and over repetitious in your mind that make you just not even want to play the guitar. Now, scales are great. Don't get me wrong. They help with learning how to play lead guitar, how to find your way around the fretboard, and all of that. But maybe you're stuck in a continuous loop of doing scale after scale after scale. If you are, it's time to stop doing that. Start making up your own stuff on the fretboard. Start exploring different notes on the fretboard and new chords too. A lot of resources out there for chords. I mean, this is my guitar chord Bible. It's a really good little book that I pick up every now and then when I want to get into some new chords. And it's fun to learn new chords. It opens up a whole new world. So have more fun with your fretboard. Don't get stuck in a continuous loop of learning scales, playing the same chords over and over and over. Learn some new stuff. All right, so that would be step number 3 of getting unstuck, in my opinion. Let's look at step number 4. Another cool way to break out of being stuck on guitar is to experiment with alternate tunings. What I was just doing there was drop D. Very, very simple. You just tune your low E string down a whole step to D. And it just adds a different dimension to the sound of your guitar. All right, and I've got a video on that as well if you want to check it out. All right, speaking of D, instead of drop D, you can also tune all of your strings to a D major chord and get a really cool low end sound for heavy stuff. And if you want to get even heavier than that, tune your E string all the way down to a C. And you're going to have some really, really heavy sounding guitar. But there's so many other alternate tunings that you can experiment with. A good example is open G. To tune to open G, you're just going to tune all of your strings to a G major chord. Works great for playing slide guitar, blues. Keith Richards of the Rolling Stones did this a lot. Open G is a really cool tuning. And there's also open C. So I think you see where I'm going with this. Do some searches online for alternate tunings, and I think you can maybe break out of that box and start experimenting. Just make sure you know what you're doing because you don't want to break your strings. I've seen that happen a lot. It's happened to me. So make sure that you have a guide to follow on how to do alternate tunings if you've never done it before. Okay, let's jump into the last tip number 5. Now, this one requires a little bit of dinero, unless you know somebody that might loan you some of these items, but get some different types of gear to experiment with. Sometimes we call it guitar toys, guitar gadgets, whatever you want to call it. Pedals are great. This is a digital delay pedal. Once you get a delay pedal, if you've never done this before, or if you have a setting on your amp like I do on my Black Star back here, the delay effect will spark your creativity. You'll have a lot of fun with it because you can do different settings to set different speeds and different frequencies of digital delay. You might very soon find you're getting lost in a whole new world. It's a lot of fun. So digital delay is a really good thing. Another thing, which I haven't used in a while, and I probably need to do a video on this, is an eBow. An eBow is a really, really cool gadget, and they don't cost that much. I'll put it in the description of this video. But basically, it just takes a 9-volt battery that you install into the eBow, and then you take your eBow, and you're going to be placing it on the strings just right over the pickup to where it creates a feedback sound. It makes your guitar sound like an electric bow. Really, really cool. If you haven't tried an eBow yet, that might be your key to breaking out. Another thing, wah-wah pedal. My little Vox here pedal, I need to do a video on this as well. It comes in really, really handy if you're wanting to make your guitar sound like Jimi Hendrix or Stevie Ray Vaughan. You know, there's so many people out there that use wah-wah. Jimmy Page, and no telling how many jazz and funk and fusion artists out there use wah-wah. A wah-wah pedal is a great thing. Now you can also get everything all in one place, all the little gadgets and everything. I'll put a photo up here of my Line 6 pod pedal, for example. It's got everything in it. And there's so many different pedals out there that you can get. But if you haven't done that yet, drop a dime or two on some gadgets and pedals, and that can open up a whole new world for you on guitar. So guitar friends, that brings us to the end of this video, but please make sure you like and subscribe if you're enjoying what you're learning here today, or if you have any comments you want to share with the rest of the community. We have a thriving community of thousands of guitarists that are commenting on these videos, and we love to read your comments. We learn a lot from each other, so please put your comments in, and I'll see you in the next video. So stay tuned for more.